Making money by moving and making money by separating your data. Well, everybody knows that in most cases, if you move from one place to the other, most often it's a more expensive move. The move is going to cost you money. The new house is probably more expensive than your current place. So we're going to explain to you how you can make money by moving. Yeah? And the other subject we're going to tell you about is making money by separation. Unfortunately, Jeff Bezos didn't make any money on his separation, but we're going to tell you, my colleague's going to explain to you how you can make money by separating data in different sorts and different qualifications of data. Yeah? My handover to my colleagues who are going to explain you how this is done and what you need to do is now.
Thank you, Jesper. Please let me continue setting the stage. The majority, if not all, our customers have already embarked on major IT transformation to support their businesses. There are two programs that we see at almost every customer. The first is moving to the cloud. This gives customers' IT environments and applications increased agility, scalability, and reduces IT costs, especially capital expenditure. And the second is digital transformation and the move to fully digital processes. This drives up the productivity of users managing business processes, increases process agility and resilience, and ultimately aims to deliver greater profitability. These transformation programs present the IT departments some major challenges. They must transform the IT infrastructure and transform and modernize their business applications. From an infrastructure perspective, they must move from an on-premise model to a more intelligent and agile cloud model, which could be private or public cloud. And from an application point of view, the transformation is from analog to digital, which also delivers a more intelligent and agile set of applications, which should be either cloud native or SaaS. This type of transformation is critical if organizations are to thrive. But the IT department, for most organizations, struggles to find budgets to find transformation and innovation because of around 70% of their annual IT spend is absorbed just keeping the existing IT applications and infrastructure running to support the businesses, with an additional 20% needed to support business growth, which leaves only approximately 10% for transformation and innovation. It's not only the IT department that faces challenges, the compliance team also faces the ongoing challenge of needing to ensure that application data and content remains properly governed and is managed in compliance with corporate and industry regulations throughout the lifecycle of business applications, including before and after transformation programs. They need to ensure the integrity and privacy of information is maintained and that the retention policies are applied effectively where necessary. These IT and compliance challenges can be significant when organizations embark on major transformation programs that require the modernization of their business application portfolio. So a timely example of such a situation is the Dutch tax authority. Too many applications, not enough time, not enough resources and expertise that result in one of the most painful and public meltdowns. And it just keeps on coming. 15 years ago, we thought it would require 8 years to solve. 15 years later, we're nowhere close. Most organizations don't have to confront the challenge of application lifecycle management until they embark on major IT transformation, such as digital transformation or a move to the cloud, which would force them to analyze their business applications and assess how they will align with the transformation program and support the business in future. Typically, when organizations need to assess and align their applications to major IT transformation programs, they embark on a process that is often called an application portfolio analysis. This focuses around the analysis of two things: the value of the application to the business and the technical condition. Now, the technical condition covers a range of aspects, which including usability, complexity, scalability, resilience, security, performance, and extensibility. Each application is analyzed and then categorized in one of the 4 buckets: tolerate, invest, migrate, or eliminate. This is what Gartner calls the time quadrant. Now, this is an example of a time quadrant from a portfolio of about 150 applications. Now, each circle represents an application, and the size of the circle reflects the cost of maintaining the application. Applications in the tolerant quadrant are in good technical condition, but have low business value. So any investment in them needs to be supported by a good business case. Invest applications are in good technical condition and have high business value. So the business should continue to invest and maintain these applications. The migrate application are in poor technical condition but deliver high value. So the customer should continue to invest in them, but look to modernize them, for example, by moving them to newer cloud-native versions. And finally, the eliminate application. Those are in poor technical condition and deliver limited value. They are often legacy applications from mergers or acquisitions, and many holding important historic data and content. Within a group of eliminate application, there are 2 types of applications. One that can be just turned off because their data is not required by the business for any reason. Then there's the application that must be decommissioned and their data retained to meet compliance and business reporting requirements. Dealing with these applications present the greatest challenges, particularly when applications are large and complex. There are many applications or managing the data according to compliance policies is critical for the organization. Now, OpenText strongly believes in putting EIM at the center of the enterprise. EIM is the middle of this system, that personify the key business processes within the organization. Tools to provide you with functionality to manage your supply chain information, manage your people, your progress, and HR records or customer records. And some provide you functionality to allow productivity and collaboration. With all the information flowing through these systems, EIM ensures that there is an interaction between the data streams and that these are not mere siloed systems. This interaction may also need to flow outside the organization. So sharing some of this information in the ecosystem with trading partners or supplier and vendors to ensure the exchange of information, but also your customers. EIM is our information layer, the information core. EIM has to be about platforms to provide single source of the truth, provide information so that the digital backbone behind a lot of these activities, the platform to provide multiple use cases upon which we can build applications and leverage the information. Obviously, all of this will need to be networked and connected so they can interact with each other. And as discussed before, all of this needs to be secured to keep it protected and compliant. EIM will allow us to put insight, to pull insight from that collected and interconnected flow of information. So, how would this be applicable to an OpenText solution, either already purchased by you or those solutions that you are currently reviewing for purchase or consumption? Now, all of the information I have shared before is all about our InfoArchive solution. I will let Herbert explain more about the capabilities of the solution, but before I will ask him to do that, coming back to EIM. Our extended ECM solution is the solution of choice to connect all these different flows and data silos, both inside and outside. That allows insight and governance. Obviously, InfoArchive is not part of extended ECM, but as we keep improving the OpenText portfolio, imagine, if you will, all the hot content stored inside the extended ECM content store and database, and imagine the warm, so anything older than 30 days and younger than 10 years, archived in Core Archive as part of extended ECM. But now also, all the cold content coming from those applications that we will decommission. The hot and warm ingested in the EFS or the archive, and the stuff which is at least 10 years old stored inside InfoArchive, but exposed through extended ECM. Single source of the truth, EIM in the middle, secured, compliant, governed, and insightful. Now with that, I'd like to hand over to the insanely skilled Herbert van Til.
Thank you, Serge. So now let's focus on the cold archive, a solution that helps you to save money, like this session suggests, by storing cold and old data in a compliant and cost-effective way. Not only the cold and old data from extended ECM, but also data from lots of other applications. Legacy decommissioning is a proven way to get rid of legacy applications while retaining the data and the content, which are still business relevant, or at least need to be kept there for compliancy reasons. And legacy application means that this application can be completely retired. So switching off the machine and saving you cost associated with these solutions. And this all is done while the content, which is still relevant to you, can be moved into an archiving solution. And the archive solution will store the metadata and the unstructured content in a way which makes it still available for the users and the groups of people in your organization. And of course, the content is managed securely, compliant, and ideally, of course, cost effective. And we can do this with the InfoArchive solution. InfoArchive helps to reduce operational cost and complexity, helps you to stay compliant with industry standards and company policies, and bring additional value to your data. Reducing cost by retiring legacy applications, saving on infrastructure, maintenance, and training costs for your personnel, and ensure compliancy of the read-only data with proper retention management in one single repository. Once in InfoArchive, you can manage the data with compliance, with complete retention management and legal hold capabilities. And the repository can be used to provide direct access to this data through e-discovery tools, legal systems, auditors, or your website. Data in InfoArchive can provide new context when the data from different applications is stored together in one single archiving repository. We can give views over the different data sources and bring additional context and value to the data. InfoArchive also comes with a lot of configurable options that can help you to ensure compliancy with industry information retention and management regulations. Full compliance can be achieved, ensuring that the integrity of the information and the purging of the information is done according all these procedures. InfoArchive functionality can be broken up in 3 different pieces. To ensure integrity, a full audit trail of the archiving solution is kept, keeping track of the activity of users and groups in the solution. A chain of custody is created and stored with the details of what and where and when information was archived. And once the information is stored in InfoArchive, it becomes immutable to ensure ongoing integrity. An almost unlimited number of different retention policies can be configured in InfoArchive. Policies can be triggered from outside and by data that is stored in InfoArchive. For example, the date of somebody leaving the company, that then the policy is triggered to keep the information for another 7 years, for example. And at the end of the retention policy, the information can be purged manually or automatically. And of course, when a legal hold is applied, this is prohibited. So then you can only delete the data and purge data after the legal hold has been lifted. And finally, it's essential to make sure that there's also privacy on all the information. InfoArchive offers a wide range of functionality to support this, for example with connectivity to an Active Directory or an LDAP for users and group to be able to access the information in the right way and provide them with the right views on the data. And for enhanced privacy, the data can be encrypted, can be masked to ensure that the sensitive data, maybe personal identifiable information, is only seen by the persons that have the right authorization. By combining the functionalities of integrity, retention management and privacy, InfoArchive allows organizations to establish compliancy to any industry or government regulation. So when we think that every year you as a company normally will deploy new solutions, new cloud services, this can only get worse. Meaning we have more applications in our landscape, more data in our landscape, which at some point in time will, of course, also become legacy and need to be archived as well. InfoArchive can help with that, to archive all data from extended ECM by extracting the metadata and the documents from the system, inserting them into InfoArchive, and provide you users with a seamless view on the same data from the same user interface that they were using in extended ECM with the widgets that are provided with the solution. But there's more. InfoArchive allows also table archiving and data archiving to archive cold data from legacy ERP systems or CRM systems. File system archiving is also integrated with OpenText InfoArchive, and there you can, for example, archive data from OpenText Extreme or other document generation applications. And compound archiving, telephone calls with the recording of the telephone call and the data of the telephone call for training purposes can be archived in InfoArchive. Any type of data and any type of document or a combination of the two can be archived with InfoArchive. And OpenText is not, of course, providing just a standalone new application for application retirement or archiving. We are providing an end-to-end application retirement platform, including ETL, analytics, e-discovery, to support archiving and legacy decommissioning from any source application. Extended ECM, as Serge was already explaining, for the really cold data. File system, file intelligence, to be able to crawl your file systems and classify content and store them in a compliant way. Or integration with Extreme or OpenText transformation services, supporting high volume communication integrated directly into the archive. Content Bridge is another application integrated with this, an ETL tool for crawling content repositories, SharePoint, FileNet, Documentum, all kinds of connectors default out of the box delivered with this solution. InfoArchive will manage the lifecycle of your archived content. It integrates with OpenText directory services, it integrates with Brava for viewing, and it is provided on-premise or in the cloud. It's not just an other content silo. It's possible to reuse the archived content, for example, search and export content to e-discovery, integrate archive content with your business processes, or use InfoArchive as a source for reporting, analytics, or customer front-end on your website. And if we have done it several times before, so OpenText customers have 3 different types of budgets by realizing productivity improvements from implementation of InfoArchive. So if you feel like the lamp fitter that is running around in the company, or you know people in your company that are lamp fitters, keeping the lights on from applications that are only there consuming computer power and energy, then OpenText can help. And Jasper will now explain how and what we can do to help you free up money for innovation.
So my colleagues Herbert and Serge have explained to you why it makes sense to separate your data into warm and cold archives, why it makes sense to decommission applications into our OpenText solutions. Well, how do you start this journey? You start this journey with a 7-week portfolio assessment. Yeah? We, together with you, assess your applications and look which are the most probable candidates for this journey. After the 7 weeks, the deliverable is a assessment showing you the business case per application. This assessment is a free assessment. Only thing you have to do on the end is commit to the roadmap, and the first application that we decommission or where we separate data will fund the second one. Yeah? So I look forward to hearing from you all when we can start this journey within your organization. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.